and one sister, were born in the United States. While growing up in New York, I always had many cousins around. They were all Ghanaian immigrants. They weren't my real family, but they were my neighbors, and our closeness bonded us like blood. We created a community together thousands of miles away from the country that bred us. The friends that I had in New York were Latinx and African American. During my youth, I fit in with them. We all experienced the same issues, like boys, gossip, and puberty. I went to public school until the 7th grade. At that point, my dad decided that I should learn about my religion, so he sent me to an Islamic boarding school in Buffalo, New York. Looking back, my family was never really that religious, but my dad had heard about the school from somebody who recommended it, and he decided to send me there. I was 13 years old on September 11, 2001. That day, all of the teachers came in late and had the students sit in a huge circle. My teacher said, "I have to talk to you guys. For those of you who are from New York City, I want you to brace yourselves. I have some bad news. Sometimes things happen in life that we don't understand." She started talking about God and how to be patient and steadfast. Then she said, "The Twin Towers were hit today." I freaked out. I panicked and tried desperately to reach my family, but I couldn't get in contact with them. When my teacher called us back for a second meeting, she announced that a Muslim might have been behind the attack and that it might cause public hatred toward the Islamic community. "What do you mean?" I asked. "They think we all did it? We didn't plot it. I don't have nothing to do with it. Why would we all be blamed for it?" So many thoughts raced through my head. Who is Osama bin Laden? Why would he do this? This act is against Islam. None of us at the school knew who bin Laden was. The other students and I started to make jokes about him. My friend said to me, "Your name is very close to his name, Adama Osama." We laughed. The next day, someone threw a rock through the window of the school. I couldn't understand what would motivate someone to do that. The boarding school was an education center, a place for learning and safety. We weren't plotting anything, and we certainly didn't support Osama bin Laden. A couple of weeks later, I was finally able to talk to my family, and they told me that they were fine. My dad said, "Shh, don't even talk about it. Be quiet. Goodbye." He refused to discuss anything over the phone, afraid that someone was listening. I felt the effect of 9/11 in the tense air when I went back to New York 2 months later for Ramadan break. There were 6 of us students who had to get on a plane to go back to the city. We wore clothing that I had started to wear when I went to boarding school. The clothing was pitch black and covered our faces and bodies. We were even wearing gloves. All you could see were our eyes, peering out of black fabric figures. I couldn't believe the way people stared at us. They pointed at us and turned red, hurrying away from us in the airport. Whispers of, "What's going on?" floated among my classmates. We were terrified. I thought that those strangers were going to attack me in public. At boarding school, we had been sheltered. We didn't know what was going on around the country. We didn't know about the hate crimes. We didn't know anything. We hadn't expected to be treated like this. That day at the airport, the 6 of us were given extra screenings compared to the other passengers. Our bags were checked with careful eyes, and we were pulled to the side for more inspection. We were marked as suspicious based on our clothing and our religion. The security guards were nasty to us. The passengers were nasty to us. The airline workers were nasty to us. When my classmates and I boarded the plane, the pilot took one look at us and shook his head. It made me feel awful. Strangers cursed at us, yelled at us, and sucked their teeth, saying, "Go back to your country, you Talibani. Go back to Osama bin Laden." I was being singled out for a crime I didn't commit. I was being judged as guilty without any trial at all. I was 13, and I had never experienced anything like this. I had never been the subject of discrimination based on my race or religion. I had always been sheltered from horrible things like that, surrounded by members of my community.